The ROG Xbox Ally was released on October 16th. I've spent the last 24 hours testing it. It has a Z1 Xbox variant chip, which is optimized for gaming. It has a 7-inch HD 120 megahertz display, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabyte solid state drive, and that's expandable. It has a bright IPS panel, and it's marketed as a true plug-and-play Xbox ecosystem. What you have here is a Windows tablet. That's what this is. So what I hoped for this device, since I've been playing on the Switch 2 and this is much more powerful, I hoped I'd set it up, log into my Microsoft account, and quickly open a game and take some, video, compare, and I thought it would be much better graphics. We're verging on 24 hours later here, and I still really haven't played a game. I've played a few seconds of Cyberpunk, but I can't get the taskbar to minimize. So it's crazy, and I did select auto hide the taskbar. As you can see there, it's not auto hiding. The other problem is when you navigate, you're navigating on Windows. So, what do you kind of need? Well, you kind of need a mouse. And then in other parts, you kind of need a keyboard. So I don't find this to be a very portable device. The keyboard doesn't come up when I'm clicking in this field to type something. I mean, this is really incredible. I don't know what they were imagining. So I'm gonna have to connect a keyboard to this device to finish trying to play with it to review gameplay. So I figured the fairest way to do this, since people like to joke about how underpowered the Switch is, the Switch 2, excuse me, which is the other console I have pictured here, is that we run a game that is graphically demanding and also available on both systems, which is Cyberpunk 2077. Okay, so I got the lights off so we can see these two bad boys boot into the system from Suspend and into Cyberpunk. I'll go ahead and do the Xbox first, which has a fingerprint unlock, Switch, no security features, just triple click to get in. I'm gonna hit Cyberpunk on the Xbox first because it's a Steam game, and so it takes a little bit more. Okay, so gotta hit play again. Waiting on the Xbox, waiting on the Switch. Okay, loaded almost exactly the same. So here's my take as someone who plays some video games. I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I play games. I own a PS5, I own an Xbox Series S, and I own a Switch and a Switch 2. I play the PS5 and the Switch 2 the most. I like Nintendo's first-party games. So I'm kind of like a mid-level gamer. I'm relatively young and pretty good with technology. I fought with the Xbox ROG for 2 straight days, just simply trying to get it set up, which took hours. There were multiple different logins, multiple different steps. There was a big update. I know most consoles do that these days, but it was a lot for a handheld. Get it set up, actually log in. I barely can get a game to open. Whenever I'm in a game on the device, I can't get out of the game. There's not an intuitive way to get back to the system. Whenever you're not in a game, you're on a Windows desktop, but you're on a Windows desktop with no mouse and no keyboard, unless you add one via Bluetooth. It supposedly connects to an external monitor for seamless full-screen gameplay. I did, in fact, get it connected to an external monitor, a 60-inch Samsung frame. I couldn't get any games to run full screen. Cyberpunk I opened in Steam. It opened fine on the device in a handheld form. It opened on the external display. Could never get it full screen. I messed with all the settings, and then I try to give it a pass and say, let's do a Game Pass game, which maybe they'll update it. Surely the Game Pass games will work. Try to open Hogwarts Legacy, which I did get to open in handheld. The game won't finish opening in full screen. It's about 25% more expensive than the Switch 2, which most people consider kind of a basic device for hardcore gamers. Both of those games that I mentioned, Cyberpunk 2077 and Hogwarts Legacy, run near flawlessly on the Switch 2. They don't look like they do on the PS5, but they look great and they run just fine. And the Switch 2 is so easily playable. And you buy it, you download an update, you connect to the internet, and you play games. My experience with the ROG is that I'm trying to navigate and log in and set up gaming
on a Windows tablet with no keyboard and mouse, and it's also prohibitively expensive. And honestly, yes, it opened Cyberpunk 3 seconds more quickly than my Switch 2 did. But my God, if that's the only positive I can draw for an device that is significantly more expensive and that really just doesn't work, I think Nintendo might be pretty safe for now. Those are my thoughts.
So I'm making this one last video just to contrast what I experienced with the ROG compared to what I was expecting. I was expecting a Switch that had better graphics and more power. So I'm in a game on the Switch. I hit the home button to get out of the game and get back to the desktop. And if I want to close the software, I simply hit close software. It asks me to confirm, software is closed. Now I want to open a game, could be that one, could be any other game, and I tap on the game. And magically, a few seconds later, the game opens. Oops, I changed my mind. Want to go back to the desktop? I hit a button. This is obviously not at all what I experienced on the road.